Hey everyone, how you doing? Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler, and this is going to be what sold on eBay and Amazon and Poshmark this week. Hope everyone's having a great Tuesday. A little bit, I guess I'm a day late on this video. Things have been just super crazy on my end and refocusing my energies in other areas, and just life in general has been nuts. But I'm here. Let's get right into it, shall we? Once again, I am Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please click the subscribe button if you want to check out my daily videos and things. But on this one, we're going to do a little bit of what sold on eBay. I also have a Poshmark item and a couple Amazon items that I wanted to touch upon towards the end. So definitely stay tuned for the whole show. Let's get right into it, shall we? First up is this Five Nights at Freddy's McFarlane's kind of Lego-ish thing. It's not really Lego brand. It's actually McFarlane brand. And so what was the deal with these is I actually bought these a while ago, maybe about a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I just basically death piled these. I put these away. I like Five Nights at Freddy's, and I thought I was going to, at one point, get the whole set and put the things together or whatever. But I ended up just putting a lot of this stuff to the side. And one of the cool things about having death piles like I do with collectibles is every once in a while something becomes super rare, which happened here. So this actually sells for around probably about $90 to $100. There's another set in this series that has Freddy Fazbear that goes for at least $150 now. These things retailed for like $12.99, $8.99, something ridiculously low. If I would have knew back then that these things were going to be super hot, I would have bought them all. These things were readily available. They were kind of low on the shelf, so you had to actually dig for these sometimes because these were like super, like not popular at all. And I think that's the reason why some of these are going for so much is people just passed these up and didn't buy them. But anyways, took a best offer for $80 on this with free shipping. Definitely keep an eye out for Five Nights at Freddy's. There's a lot of them that aren't worth super amount of money, but if you can find these at a relatively good price, definitely scan them and look them up. Next up is this Ferrari owner's 40th anniversary book. And this book was actually interesting because it was like a Ferrari owners club. And in the back of the book, it actually had people's addresses and phone numbers and stuff like that. So this was like a members only book. And I put it on in auction style at first, and it didn't sell, so I relisted it for $24.99 plus $5 shipping, and it pretty much sold like instantly as soon as I listed it. So someone must be a really hard book to find. I couldn't find any comps on this at all, and I even thought about just listing it for like $99 and just leaving it like I do with some things. But I got this book for $3 at a Goodwill, and it's in like amazing condition. And I just said, I'm just going to put it for $24.99 and see what happens. Sure enough, it sold like less than an hour. Next up is this Colin Kaepernick jersey. This is a medium-sized kids. I think I took a best offer for 14 something plus shipping. And I bought this at Goodwill. It was $4.99. I bought all the Colin Kaepernick jerseys that they had, U size for kids, and I've sold a couple of them. And I thought they would have sold instantly. But with the off season and the controversy and everything, I think eventually these will start to sell, especially when football season comes back. As I think Colin Kaepernick is done. I don't think he's doing anymore. I think for sure he's not quarterback for the 49ers anymore. But like I said, for $5 for a Nike Pro jersey, I actually picked up some adult ones too that were like $8.99. And what's crazy is I bought those for $8.99, the adult ones, and they go for like $150 brand new. And I went back the next day to get a couple more, and they were completely gone. So I kind of messed up on that. But that next day that I went back, I knew that I saw a whole rack of these in the kids section. So I was like, let me go look to see if those are still there. All those kids ones were still there. And so I definitely went back and looked at that. And definitely a pro tip for anyone who I just started getting into selling clothes and things like that, and I already kind of figuring out certain things. Sometimes they put things in the kids section that they're not supposed to be there, and I found some amazing gems in the kids section. So if you got some extra time, definitely go hop into the kids section and take a look at the shirts there and jerseys. Next up, speaking of shirts and getting it, I'm really getting into. I'm loving. See, I've always been a fan of t-shirts, and I've always loved t-shirts my whole life. So just getting into clothing this year with selling eBay. I've tried to avoid this as long as possible because to me, whatever. But getting into selling t-shirts, I sold this one for $16.95 plus free shipping. I don't do the free shipping anymore. This was kind of like an experiment when I first started listing shirts. I now charge shipping, and so that I can at least put them on sale and not have to worry about shipping on the back end. Anyways, this was the Overlook Hotel from the movie Shining. I'm not sure if this was like a company store thing, but it did have a kind of an older Delta Pro weight tag on it. And what I'm finding is whenever you see printed tags that are like printed inside of the shirt that don't have like a material, usually those are like newer ones, but I'm starting to tell, like, when you see actual physical tags, there's a certain time frame that they lie on. So I don't know if this obviously wasn't a vintage shirt, but it was in really amazing condition, and for $1.99, it's a no-brainer. I've been picking up so many different shirts lately. I should just do videos on different shirts I get every week. Your mind would be blown. Next up is this 3M anti-glare thing. This is an NOS from 1998. What these were kind of anti-glare things that you could put on the computer, so that you can actually see the true colors of the screen. And sometimes there were like security ones too, where you couldn't look at a certain angle; it'd show a blank. But these were actually just filters. And I bought these like 2 years ago at a Goodwill. I bought like 4 of them, and I scanned them on Amazon. This is when like the whole Amazon FBA thing, before all the crazy fees. And these were going for like $60 or $70 a piece on Amazon FBA. So I got excited. They were $6 a piece, a little pricey. If I would have saw this today, I probably would never pick these up. But anyways, I bought them. I was still learning, like we all are. Like I said, I had this forever. And so this actually sold to a gentleman in Japan. This went global shipping. And I still have 3 of these left. I only listed 1 on eBay, so I'm going to actually later list the rest of them. As I sat on these forever, I every time, because I have in storage unit, I have a bunch of bins, right? And they're all the same bins. They're all uniform, so they can stack, and it's just, I don't know, I'm OCD with that. So, but every time I'd go in to pull eBay stuff out of these bins, these things would be right on the top, and I'd just look at them and be like, how the hell could I get rid of these things? Because they were just something that I bought early on and didn't know. But anyways, I sold one today. I'm stoked, so yeah. Next up is this pewter kind of Monopoly Star Wars pieces. I did a video on this. I picked this up. Actually picked the whole Monopoly set up for $2 out of a yard sale, like maybe three months ago. And I parted these out. I thought for sure these would have sold like for like $12.99 like easily, but I sat on these for a while. I took a best offer for $7 plus $2.99 shipping. Made a little bit of money, made my money back, made a little bit of money, and that's good for me. Just keep snowballing this whole thing. But anyways, this was a good deal, whoever got this. Sold the last Jimmy the Idiot Spumco piece. We've talked about this many times for those that have been watching the channel for a year. These are basically pencil toppers, NOS from the 90s. It was the same guy that made Ren and Stimpy. And ironically, well, anyways, I sold these all out. I started to blow these out. People were like doing like best offers for $4 or $5. I just wanted to get rid of them. They sold like really quick when I started taking best offers. So people must have been seeing that, they were selling for lower, so people just started jumping on that. Anyways, blew these out, and I found there was 3 different styles. The first style of the female one sold like pretty much really fast. I even sold those for like as high as $24.99 each. I paid $1 for these. And I noticed I had 3 styles, and the third style I noticed wasn't on eBay anymore, and I have them, and I'm like, why aren't these selling? And I just noticed that there was no listing. The listing disappeared, so it must have been gone for such a long time that even when I go look in my history, it doesn't show it at all. So at some point, I don't know if I didn't do a good till canceled or maybe a 30-day by accident, but I need to go back and list those, because those will sell like real quick too. So anyways, I would say if anyone that has a huge amount of stock of things on eBay, when you have some extra time, go back and make sure that things are listed, because there's plush animals I noticed that aren't listed anymore, and I don't know what happened. Everything's good till canceled, but for some reason they're not in my store, and they don't show anywhere. It's just crazy. I'm like, why isn't this selling? Then I go look and it's not even there. So sold the last of the 10 Commandments coins. We've talked about these medallions before. They're either made out of steel or aluminum, and there was like 75 of them in a bag. I pretty much got these for free. I talked about it a million times before. It came with a huge collection of DVDs. They just had boxes of stuff, and they were just going to throw it out. So I was starting to dig through all these different things from a clean out, and I was just, whoa, what the heck was that? That was crazy. Oh my goodness. Hold on one second. I need to turn this off. I think I knew what happened here. Okay, so anyways, whoa, that was too funny. Anyway, so yeah, these are the last ones sold. Pretty much sold these for 99 cents, so pretty much made, you know, $1 each on these. Next up is the Star Wars Micro Machines. Still selling some of the Star Wars stuff. I really need to start getting, because I bought that huge Star Wars collection, and I kind of cherry picked some of the stuff out to list, and I have all that other stuff still left. I need to honestly lot that together and put it on OfferUp and just blow it out to. They pretty much made all my money back on the collection. I just need to really just get rid of all the other stuff, and all that stuff is in storage. As a bonus, I was gonna show you some of my Poshmark sales. I've been listing all my shirts on Poshmark and stuff like that. And for anyone that don't know, I'm at Evilos on there. I might, if I can remember, I'll put a link below to my Poshmark store. And I've been selling on Poshmark for about a year and a half. I actually really don't talk about it too much, but I noticed a lot of YouTubers are starting to talk about Poshmark again. So it's kind of like it's the in thing to do right now. So I thought like, I'll talk about my Poshmark sales. And I've actually had a few requests that I should do Poshmark videos because there's a lot of guys that don't do Poshmark. And I remember early on, I was literally like the only guy doing Poshmark, and there's a lot of guys that are like, hey, what should we sell on Poshmark? And people were asking me to do videos. So I might do some Poshmark videos more geared towards what the males, the male, the man, what we sell on Poshmark and stuff like that. Because for the most part, Poshmark is all women's clothing, children's clothing, stuff like that. But anyways, I sold this hat, $10, made $7 profit. There was a whole bunch of these at a Goodwill, like maybe a year and a half ago for like $3, $2 each. And I bought the whole rack because they were just cool. And I guess it's kind of like a street brand that pretty much no one's even heard of, this SSUR. I wish these were Supreme hats or something crazy like that. But, and it's another just street brand that I bought. This was the last one. I think I sold them all. And so, yeah, definitely snapbacks are a good thing to sell on Poshmark if you have them. Let's talk about Amazon. I sold this Tip of the Tongue game. Bought this for $5. Sent this in the FBA. This sold for $33.99, and there was a bunch of them that were going for like $20 for the longest time, and so I just waited because I saw that I was like one of the only people that had this on Prime, so I put it at the lowest price. It was like 30 something, and just waited and waited and waited, and finally someone bought it for the price. So definitely, if you could afford to wait on certain things, there's a whole, man, I can tell you guys, it's a whole other freaking game plan about how I do FBA stuff. I should probably make FBA videos, to be honest. Next up is Pillars of the Earth CD. I sold this for $91, and this was something that was sent into Amazon FBA, and I was the lowest price on this. As you can see, the highest price is $95. This was brand new. I paid $5 at a local thrift shop for this, and yeah, so I was actually stoked. I actually didn't know I sold this till today when I was going through some. I was like, oh, I'm going to show you guys some of the Amazon things I was selling. And then I saw this. I was like, oh, crap, that's sold. That's awesome. I paid $5 for this. It sold for $91. So after fees and all that, I would say I probably profited maybe like $70 from this, from a $5 purchase. So definitely look out for box CDs and things like that. There's people that do full-time living just selling CDs on Amazon FBA. Though a lot of people are gated now for selling popular music, there's still a lot of people that were grandfathered in that kept selling CDs that literally they weren't touched by that whole thing. So there's that. Once again, I am Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler. I'm also on Steemit, guys. Check out my Steemit channel. I'm at Reseller. I've been doing a lot of things on Steemit and on DTube, which is another like decentralized YouTube, basically. That deals with cryptocurrencies and things like that. But anyways, I'm Chris, Thrift Shop Hustler. Leave a comment below if you have anything that you want to ask, think about, comments, questions, responses, criticisms. Leave them in the comments below. I love to interact with you guys. And click the like button if you learned anything, you thought this video was entertaining, you learned something, yada, yada, yada. Anyways, I'm Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler. So, yeah, we'll be coming out with some more videos this week, and we'll see you guys soon. Take care.